We're live, homie, just so you know.
All right. Streets is talking. For anybody that's replaying this, go watch that Crip Mac Neon live stream
Sorry, I should
where
have warned you.
Crip Mac is chasing Neon. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you're talking about Crit Mac
And Neon.
and Neon. Yeah, that was some
Yo,
crazy shit.
that did not take long.
Leave it to Crit Mac to actually feel disrespected. I mean, I get it, but in prison they don't be playing those games, and he just got out like a couple days ago, so he not
But
going
he
for that.
but he's like a little kid.
Crit Mac or
Yeah.
Neon?
No, Crip Mac.
A little bit. He kind of like naive. He doesn't know it was a troll.
It's
Or
crazy.
what's
What's up
your
with the
what's your read on it?
he just slow.
He a little slow, yeah. He a little
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
What do you? It's
And
kind of par for the course.
yeah, people take advantage of him, I think.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but he's willing to take a lot of, dark measures because that's the lifestyle he comes from. What's up with the neighbor?
Nothing really new with the neighbor.
Oh,
I
okay, they haven't
think
been tripping,
nah. Once I put my foot down, it's kind of been like nothing.
but you're not taking it like long like late night.
I mean, I'm doing some late night streams. This week's been pretty damn slow. I mean, the Brandon Moreno, Loner Kavanagh. There's not much to talk about.
I don't even really like the card.
Yeah, no. I mean, last week I wasn't too big of a fan of last week's card. I was
Well, I
going
like
into
last
it.
week's.
I was going into it, but when I watched it, I wasn't a fan of it. I was like, bro, I'm doing the stream. I'm sitting on my hands.
There was a lot of KOs though.
No, there's only three. The
We
rest
got
of them were
Fluffy,
decisions.
Costa, Jacoby. That was it. Just those three.
Just those three.
All right, all right.
So, yeah, you're asking about the neighbor. You're asking about the late night streams. I'm still down to do them. It's just I feel like I haven't been doing too much late night, so she's probably lucking out, thinking that she got to me. But once there's more stuff to talk about, we're gonna be going late night if we have to. There's nothing stopping us.
All right, all
But what I
right,
what
all
I
right.
don't really like, because she has been a bit more quiet, and what kind of annoys me is like, I mean, I guess we'll see how it plays out, but you did all that. You were all self-righteous. You thought that you were in the right. All it took is me to yell at you, you know? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is if I'm mad at somebody, me personally, it doesn't matter how mad they get back at me. I'm not going to get mad at you unless I feel like I'm 100% in the right.
Right.
So like I got mad back at them. I barked back. I bit back, and now it's like they're scared puppies. I don't respect it. It's weak as fuck.
Well, didn't you say she's like in her 50s or something?
Yeah, and the husband came down trying to bully me, but it's like,
Yeah.
bro, don't come down here doing that in the first place. I don't even respect it. And if you're gonna do that, then keep the same energy the whole time. Because
Yeah,
now I double don't respect it.
we're gonna have a live stream of Jacob beating up a 60-year-old man, like a neon stream.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I think
You'd
I
go
think I
viral.
can
You'd go viral.
I think
Getting
enough wolf
arrested.
I know, right? Beating the No, that won't happen though. Um Enough of the woofing will do. If I just fucking woof at him, he'll step back. All I gotta do is bark a little bit.
Got you.
Yeah,
All right,
so
I saw your topics.
yeah. And the title for today, UFC Mexico preview, um Strickland censored after stopping Fluffy, and then Dan Hooker Zesty. That's one of the bigger topics since we last spoke.
That was pretty crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was rewatching that video of her, just posting that. I mean, typical OF girl.
And a former stripper.
Yeah, just down the line. That's what you look for.
Hmm.
He was just, bro. He was, and then she said Captain Sabaho. Like, she went like that. Like, no shame.
It's almost like she was it was like a flex that she found a Captain Save-A-Ho. Like it almost
Yeah,
seemed
of
more like
course.
braggadocious how she was saying Captain Save-A-Ho, right? Like I'm the hoe, he. It's like, damn,
Bro,
you just love the fact that you're a hoe and he's the captain that saved you. You just
bro,
went
like,
blue all of a sudden, by the way. I don't know what happened.
oh shit.
It's
Hold
fine. We can just deal with it, but I'm just letting you know.
on. All right, there's a little bit more wider. But no, she's just a typical like stripper that strippers that I know, like that typical like no shame, calling it all out. You know, he's spending money on me, daddy.
Being a hot
Um,
girl is her whole MO, her whole gimmick.
right. Yeah, her
Yeah.
whole thing. That's her world, bro. And no, and she's fine with it.
But I mean,
And he was fine with it too, just paying for it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, there is a lot to break down with that whole thing. Um,
What's your initial breakdown on it?
my initial breakdown is like a raw breakdown, like just raw, like assumptions, everything in there. Is that Dan stopped paying for her, so she aired out all his dirty laundry, just kind of like
Yeah.
Vlad did with Jay-Z the other week in Megan the Stallion.
He posted after that and said it was a joke.
Oh, so it's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I do think that it smells something along those lines. Like Dan's not paying her the hush money anymore. So now she's like, okay, I'll air out all the dirty laundry. Because what would be the reason to air out the dirty laundry? How did he do her dirty? He must have stopped paying for her.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And then, there's these other things like the tattoos make a lot of sense now. The activity
What?
makes a lot of sense, like just fighting to take checks. I was saying that before I found out about the girl. I'm like, homie Dan just fighting to like get these checks. Like he don't even give a fuck whether he wins or loses. He's just like guaranteeing the show purse. And if he gets the
Right.
win bonus, it's like a cherry on top. But he's just showing up for show purses essentially right now. Then it comes out that, he's paying for this girl's mortgages in 2 different countries. He's still married to his current girl. He got a couple daughters, I think. It's like, okay, a lot of like Dan's
Sugar
craziness.
Daddy City.
I mean, he's a sugar daddy,
Yeah.
and it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense now. The tattoos as well. Guys, like I think all of us guys, we all been in love and we all started acting a little bit maybe out of pocket if you look back in hindsight when you got like a baddie. Because usually it happens if you get yourself a baddie, right? You start feeling
Right.
yourself.
Right.
You're also trying to like appease her because she like, if you get a bit of a younger baddie, I mean, it goes without saying, right? You're gonna try to like be on that
Flex.
same type of level, right? You're gonna start
Yeah.
flexing, start fronting,
Whatever you want, girl.
right?
Whatever you want. I got you. Daddy got you.
And I could just see it now. Like the whole picture makes so much more sense. Dan's, because it was the whole like Dan 2.0, like blonde hair. Don't forget he was a brunette his entire career. He goes bleach blonde, full on tattoos. Now the activity's crazy. He fights every month. He had a full switch up, and I think it's because like he was feeling himself having like a few baddies on the side. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And then the dad responded.
And he challenged him to a fade. I mean, kind of clout chaser.
Yeah. I mean that wouldn't go well.
It definitely wouldn't go
You
well.
know. You don't want. Bro. I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? But like in real life, he wouldn't want. He'd get fucked up.
No, he would for sure get fucked
Could you
up.
imagine that story?
It's almost like the dad didn't mean it. I think we all know
Well, the
that.
dad was upset, right? The dad don't want that. Dad doesn't want his daughter cheated on and doesn't want all this to be exposed. I get it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like trying to be like, no, fuck that. It's my daughter.
But
That
going on
what any
social
dad would do.
media, kind of.
Yeah,
But going on social media, kind of lame, I will say.
yeah, yeah.
And
And Dan Hooker just he leaned into it.
he leaned into it. He's like, "Damn, I'm gay now."
Yeah, it's like, wait, what happened?
Yeah. But let me ask you something a little bit more realistic, right? Allow us to break the fourth wall and keep it real, like we're known for doing at this point. Is it the dad's business to really go in and I mean, clearly the daughter and Dan have talked about it. The daughter's cool with it. Is it the dad's business to kind of come in and dictate how they should live their love life? Because
Is
everybody
the is
always
the
wants to say there's
is the
one way
wife cool
for
with it?
love. Well, I
Is
mean,
the wife
she's still with him, and the baby mama or the stripper ex, she's saying me and the wife are cool. This is Dan's thing. He's got a wife, and then he's got like side chicks, and like this is
mm,
what you can do when you have money. You can have a little bit more leeway with your woman because
mm.
what's she gonna do? Go with another guy who makes less than him?
All right, all right, all right.
So
Yeah, I
what I
mean,
really
I
want to say is that everybody always wants to preach that there's one way to do things,
sure.
and if you break this one little mold, you must be a piece of shit.
Sure, sure.
And how much, like, how can, it's a slippery slope for me because is Dan going to live his life for himself and his wife and his family, or is he going to live his life for the approval of his father-in-law?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, sure, you don't want the father-in-law to yell at you, but in all reality, I'm not going to be happy trying to make him happy.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't realize that the wifey wasn't like super like feeling disrespected. I mean, if that's their if they've had that dialogue and they're open like that, I mean, to each his own, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're grown. If she's cool with it and she ain't tripping, and I mean, there's a lot of relationships like that actually.
Yeah. Because the dad was
So
saying, like, there's a lot of relationships like that, and the dad was saying, I said you were a good man and all this stuff. And kind of like where I'm going with it too is, does, like, because of what Dan did and the dad saying, I thought you were a good man. I wrote that in my autobiography. Now you're not. Is he really not a good man? Or, like, if does he still treat you with respect? Does he still treat his daughters well? Now, I don't know all the behind the scenes,
yeah,
but that's one of the things I would ask is, like, let's say Dan's not abusive. Let's just say Dan is unfaithful to the degree of what we know, right? He
yeah,
he has side chicks. Does that mean you're not a good guy because you have side chicks? Now, if he's abusing and using money to put people in these bad positions and predicaments, that's another story. But I'm just
sure.
simply speaking about, like, guys who have more than one woman and then the family doesn't approve of it. Does that make him a bad guy? Or is it just that the family, doesn't want that for the daughter type shit?
Yeah, and I think there's something that goes along with like when people get married, right? In the eyes of the
Mm.
church or the Lord, right? That they have a vow that they've committed to each other and in the eyes of a religion, you
Well, it
know.
is a promise to God. That is part of the marriage. It entails a promise
So
to
like I don't
God.
know how deep they are in that, you know what I mean? Like everybody's views that differently too, you know what I mean? Like cuz there's some people that go to church but they don't really go to church.
Right, right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were just out Saturday night in Tijuana at the strip club, fucking getting, banged in the booty, and then they're going to church Monday and like, hey, what's up? Or
Yeah.
Sunday. So I mean, there's levels, right? So I don't know how devout they are to their religion, if that even means anything to them, or did they even get married in a church? Did they just go get like a certificate and now they're married?
Yeah, I guess that's a whole nother conversation because there are some people who get married and then it's like, we're not really religious. We're just getting married for the tax
Right,
benefits or something like that.
right. Like they're not really religious,
But it
right? But
really
then
is
they're
more so of a religious endeavor to get married.
Well, it's more of a to an extent. I mean, because you could do it both. You could still get married in any state. We can get married. You and I can
Yeah.
get married in the state of not you and I, but in the state of California, we can get married to someone. And, hey,
We could
clip
get
that.
married to
Hey,
women.
streets,
We could get
streets,
married to women.
streets. Clip that. They're gonna
There
be
you go.
like, wait, what happened? No wonder why MTK's been off. We, but I don't think they're evidently they're not like super religious like that. You know what I mean? Like
No, yeah.
if they have an open relationship,
Then
but
it is what it is.
the dad took it a certain way though, right? He took it like, hey,
The
you're
dad the
disrespecting
dad's
my
not
dog.
fucking with it at all. And he's like,
Yeah,
come
you're
see me, come talk about this like a man.
pull up,
Yeah. Okay, before
pull
we
up.
get into the next topic, bro, I just showered, so my room's like a sauna because I got all the doors shut too. Let me just turn
Mhm.
on the AC real quick. But UFC Mexico City, maybe update the
Let's
viewers.
talk about the fluffy Sean Strickland real quick.
Okay, then we'll get into Mexico City.
Yeah,
All right, for
yeah,
sure. But I also want to see if there's any updates on, like, Mexico City for you and what you think about the whole cartel issue right now. So give me
yeah. It's
one
pretty
second.
wild. Yeah, it's pretty wild. The cartel ain't playing down there. They are not playing. But one thing I will tell the homies in the chat. I mean, the next dude just gonna step right up. I mean, it's interesting because I live in San Diego. We got homies down in TJ. Like cartel don't play. They bout it. And the new youngsters that are in like that was the new Jalisco cartel. Like the new youngsters, right? The ones that are like want to put in work, bro. Like you're talking about an organization that already doesn't care if they cut off heads and leave bodies in the streets. Like they on some other level stuff.
What were you mentioning the cartel just now or what?
Yeah, no, just saying like the next man's gonna step up. Like it's not like it's going away, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna actually the next man's gonna step up because he wants to make even more money. You know
Mm.
that's a bro. Like they've been cutting off, like they've been killing people and cutting off heads and leaving them in the streets. Like that's not new news.
Hmm.
That's been going on for like a decade, maybe longer.
I mean,
Like
if you've seen Narcos, this
they
is
savage,
all
bro.
yeah, this has all been explained in Narcos.
Yeah, dude, they savage, bro. Like that not no.
The leader of the gang is just a face anyway. It's not like, he has as much influence I think as they're making it out to be. There's other heads, that call the shots for
well
these
the
other guys who are like the
well the
proclaimed
guy that
faces.
well the guy that got killed, I believe, was the new Jalisco cartel. I mean, he was that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
but the next man just stepped. You kill one, 20 more are gonna come. You know what
So
I mean?
this
Like
is the guy who's been kind of like, because I know what the cartel does. They like buy politicians and stuff. So the guy that they just killed is the guy who's been buying the politicians.
that I couldn't say all of that. I'm gonna assume yes, though. You feel me?
Okay. Because that's the
Like I
real leader of the cartel, the guy who goes and negotiates with the politicians and buys their support and whatnot. That's the guy who's the real leader of the cartel, whoever that is.
right, and the guy that they killed was El Mencho. So he was the. What was crazy is like the car they showed him in. Like they showed him in some rickety dink car that got shot up, and I was like, this dude like multi-millionaire, and he's running around in this little piece of shit car.
Mm.
But
Was
but
that picture of him and a girl like a snow bunny in the club? Was that fake?
probably not.
Did you see
It
that
was.
or no?
I think I did.
I've been seeing pictures. I just don't know if it's real or not. They're saying that, this girl kind of like got him caught up, which led to his death. Not that
Oh,
she set him up, but you know how it goes when guys
yeah,
drop
yeah. Just got caught
their
slipping.
guard. Yeah, they get
Yeah,
caught slipping.
got a little too comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, that pee can do it to you.
I mean, bro, that's notorious. Notorious. Guys die every day over some puss.
Yeah,
Shit, a guy just probably died an hour ago over some puss. We don't even know about it.
true, true. Nah, but nah, that's it would be wild for them to like do something before the fight and be just to like say we to just to push the weight around like because we can.
Mm-hmm.
That would be wild. That would mean nothing's kind of came out yet. I mean, it's Wednesday, right? They're not. They don't seem too scared because they're still throwing the event, but you never know what could happen, bro. You never know.
Yeah.
Imagine you hear something like, bro, they kidnap a UFC fighter.
I know.
Imagine that would be crazy.
And I think a lot of fans would be like, nah, like the UFC would fuck him up. It's like, bro, this is the cartel. Like they got Mexico held hostage essentially. Like,
Bro,
where are all the cops in Mexico, like shutting these guys down? They're just letting it
but
happen.
just think about this though. When El Chapo Guzman's son got arrested, this was like I think 2020, 2019. They made such a ruckus that they let him go. The 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 country, the federal
They
government
did let him
let
go. I
him
remember that.
that let him go, and then that president at the time, like how Trump did the State of the Union yesterday, like national to all the American citizens, they went on national Mexican TV and said there is not a drug war with the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy power.
And that was less than like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like a few
And
years
dude,
ago.
fucking Chapo Guzman's son's just still rolling around. He's not arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He's still flipping it up.
Yeah.
His dad's locked up, but all his kids are out there like in charge.
Do you think the police are too weak to dethrone the cartel, or are they getting paid?
All of the above.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, all of the above. I mean, there's too much money involved in the drugs that are coming over. I mean, who's their number one supplier, bro?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think about it too often. So who is the number one supplier?
The United States. Like
Uh,
who are doing drugs? You know what I
supplies.
mean?
Oh, you mean buyer?
Demand. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
demand.
yeah.
Like yeah. My bad.
Who's our
Um,
number one supplier?
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And who's their number one demand? So like that 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 business is like Microsoft.
And it's like US dollars too, right? Compared to the
Right.
what, peso or something in
Right. I
Mexico.
mean, they it's wild of him, bro. That's wild.
So
I
you
can't
think
tell
that
you.
this is, I mean, like, not that you need to be some crazy conspiracy theorist, but I think just like on a or on a base level, like, is this just like a perfect harmony taking place right now, and like it's legalized like killing, so to speak, like between us being the buyer, right, them being our
Right.
supplier, and then the
Right.
money being so nice to where the fucking government in Mexico and the special forces in Mexico don't do anything about it because they are in on it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
And all this is
corrupt.
just allowed to continue happening like this in this circle
It's it's super
because there's a lot
corrupt.
of money involved for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, it's super corrupt. I mean, and it's been for decades. You know what I
And
mean? So like,
the
how do you
US,
infiltrate that system when you're getting paid millions by a cartel, right?
no, I know what you
Or
mean.
or they could strong arm you and be like, "Oh, you ain't gonna play no more." There's countless stories of officials that have been murdered in the
Hmm.
streets. You know, done dead. Like it's savage, bro. It's crazy. That is crazy.
But there's a lot
What
of
happened?
arguments too that the US, basically wants this to continue happening and they have a hand in allowing this to continue happening. Have you
I
heard that in
mean,
the past too?
there's a slither of that, right? Just due to the fact. I mean, think about how many people are employed for the drug war.
Mhm.
Think how many people, incarcerations, court systems, police officers, attorneys, you know what I mean? Like federal officials, like US Border Patrol. We could just go down the bro, there's probably billions of dollars being spent within this another billion-dollar industry, you
Or
know?
also allowing this problem to persist, and then politicians, they run on like, we're gonna clear this issue up, but really it's an issue that they're letting happen. So I could see that type of manipulation too.
Yeah. Because I mean, if they don't really want to solve the drug war, bro.
It
They're
would have been
not.
solved. Would it had not
Uh,
been?
yeah, like 40 years ago.
That's what I always say
Right?
about the hood. I think we talked about this before, but it's like the hood is, a design problem too. If they could have solved that
That
years
too.
ago, they
They don't
want it
want
to
to.
continue. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
because I
profit in that. There's a lot of votes in that.
and not only that, I mean, if we can go deep, I don't want to get too deep, but I mean, if you would go back into the civil rights movement and you think about segregation, if you created a line and you said, "Hey, you can't cross this line, and you can't get a job, and you can't get a mortgage, and you can't go get an education," what do you think happens to those people behind that line? We're
Hmm.
seeing the results of it now. We're seeing what happens of decades of people, broken up families, no education, generational wealth. It's sickening, honestly. But anyway, that's
I'll
another
just
whole nother.
conclude it by kind of saying too, though, that and then they keep them in that because they take it all away from them, right? And then they start offering resolutions in the form of handouts. Oh, you don't make this much money. Well, you qualify for Section 8 housing. Oh, you don't have a job, so to speak. Okay, well then here's your EBT. Oh, you have 3 kids. Okay, well then here's X amount of dollars per month per child because you're in the situation that we're forcing you to be in. And then by you taking on these benefits, right, it's going to enable you to never get out of it because look at all this free stuff you're getting, although it's just barely enough to
There's
scrape by. It's
there's
not
so
enough to
many,
thrive, it's only
bro.
enough to
It's
scrape by.
There's so many layers to it. I
I know,
mean,
that's why I'm just kind of exposing it all
that's
with you right
yeah,
now.
that's just one layer, right? And then you
Yeah.
got the other layer of like, think about like the brainwashing of to think to grow up and be like, I want to be a murderer,
Gang culture.
bro. Like off top, I want to be a murderer. Like I want to spend the rest of my life in prison, like that. How do they even clean that up? Like I said, there's so many layers to it, bro. But look at that's like no education too,
Bro, I
right?
just watched, yeah, yeah. I just watched Adam 22. He was talking about like 4 Extra because obviously they got their beef, but he was speaking on something where he's like dissing 4 Extra because 4 Extra, he was talking about putting his kid in like a known gang affiliated child daycare. Like in the middle of the hood, it's like a
Yeah.
known Crip daycare owned by like a Crip, and that's what he's choosing to put his like son or daughter in instead of like trying to get him out of it. But then
So
you
you grew up a
ask,
crip. So
yeah,
you
so he
grew
can
up a
grow up a
crip.
Crip.
Yeah.
Now that's a
Yeah.
brain dead ass decision by the father. I mean, you couldn't
Yeah.
be more stupid as a father to do that. right? But then you ask, how do these people, grow up to think about wanting to be killers? Well, maybe their dumbass brain dead father, who blew his hand off with a damn firework, put him into a
But
daycare owned by a Crip to brainwash
but
him from
but
before
look,
he could even speak.
but but then follow that train, right? Who raised 4 extra? Follow that
Same type
train,
of brain dead
what?
person who raised
Right,
him.
right. And so you're just to keep, like you just said, another vicious cycle. That's a good conversation with Joaquin, actually.
Hmm.
And what a great uh fight he has.
What a great fight. So should we just go right into that one?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you, I was gonna tell you, did you know and not tell anything, or what? Did you
No,
just
I
find out
didn't know.
too?
Homie didn't fucking tell me. And in the past, it's been like
He
a hot
kept it on
minute.
that. He kept it on the DL
Yeah,
deal.
he kept it on the DL. And like, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 months ago, before he even popped back out, because he was kind of like he was quiet for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
I was texting behind the scenes, like, yo, you got to fight. Like, tell me when this fight's booked. It's got to be any day now. And he's like, nah, nothing. And I was like, all right, just shoot me a text though, like when you get something booked, so I can have the post ready to go.
Drop.
And he was like, I'll tell you. But we've had a lot of communication since then, so he probably forgot to like let me know. But he was in Houston for the fight. So I'll have
Yeah.
to ask him when we do the interview whether or not he knew it was going to get announced. But it seems like he knew because he popped out to Houston for it.
Mm.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true
I don't know.
too.
He also asked to do the live stream with me on the UFC Houston card.
Oh, I remember they told me that. Yeah.
But then he was like, I'm going to be in Houston. And I was like, nah. But I'm just wondering in the back of my head, like, did he want to be on UFC Houston because he knew his fight was going to get announced that day, and then he wanted to be on the stream to promote it? If so, he shouldn't have fucking kept that to himself. He should have told me that. If he would,
Yeah,
if
maybe.
I said like, yo, let's do it for UFC 326 because you're gonna be at the event. If he would have responded and been like, nah, we got to do it this weekend. My fight's getting announced. Do you think I would have said fucking no to that?
Right, right.
So
Yeah, sometimes
hopefully, I gotta ask him a couple questions, but I'm wondering now. I got a few questions for him.
what I like about Joaquin, he's always seems open. You know what I mean? Like he ain't
Yeah,
trying to run from the truth. You know what I mean?
right.
Like he'll just let it be known. Like it is what it is, whatever. But no, that's it's a great matchup because we get to see one. Sean Brady, he's a ground specialist, right?
Yeah.
Joaquin probably going to want to keep it on the stand up. So I mean, this is a good matchup for both fighters because one, Joaquin wants to get back in that win column. You don't want to get 2 losses in a row. Not in
Both
that
coming
division,
off of losses.
right?
Yeah.
So they both like desperately need a win, and but then you have the style matchup of a guy that can Joaquin stop the takedowns. Can he not be submitted and keep it on the ground? Almost like what Sean Strickland did to Fluffy. I mean, that must have been frustrating for Fluffy. He could not take Sean Strickland.
Hmm.
You were right.
We'll wait to get into that one, but
Yeah.
that is a great example. What I will say is this, and we got to keep it real. And I think I wouldn't say anything I don't think Joaquin wouldn't agree with. So with that being said, speaking about Brady, speaking about a grappler, you know, this is something where Joaquin he needs to overcome this type of fighter, right? This type
Yeah.
of style
Right.
matchup if he
Right.
wants to become a world champion in the future. You need to knock this off the list and get it, under your belt, so to speak. A dominant win
Those
over a grappler, a
right. Any
respected
top three.
grappler.
Right. Any top three guy has to have that.
You have to check it off, or else you start to fall off a cliff because you can't
Right.
hang with grapplers. The Kevin Holland approach.
Well, I mean, what's going to happen if you face Islam if you can't beat Sean Brady? You
Exactly,
know.
and the list goes on. People
Right.
aren't going to believe in you to beat Bilal and stuff like that because he's a grappler. You're going to get, characterized as like you can't
Yeah.
fight
Yeah.
grapplers. But at the same time, this is what he's been calling for. He hasn't
Yeah. It's
just been calling
great.
for Brady. He's been not that he really has called for Brady at all, but he's been calling for a Russian to prove, right, that he's patched up these holes that Usman exposed in him.
I want to see
And
it.
so honestly, it's a perfect matchup. Also, Brady, he don't got the best hands, right? So this is something where Brady's got certain holes in his game, and if he can get past a Buckley, not that I think he can, but
I
that'll
hate
show
that
that
it's
he's
at
been
the.
able to check it off too.
I hate that it's at the apex though. So,
Well, you can blame Sean Brady for that, bro.
all right.
You can blame Sean Brady for that because they wouldn't put Joaquin at an Apex. They would put him in front of a city. But you know,
Yeah.
Sean Brady, Mister Do Nothing for Nobody. I think the UFC wants Joaquin to get him up out of here.
To do nothing.
And ending Joaquin up at the Apex. Do you see what I mean
Uh,
though? Mister Do Nothing for Nobody ending Joaquin up at the UFC Apex. Do you see the point?
yeah.
He
Get
literally
it.
does nothing for anybody. Like he's
Yeah.
ending up Joaquin in the fucking Apex.
Yeah.
Now let me bring to you another storyline about this fight, all right?
All right.
Because this is a fight long in the making. Joaquin and Brady have a lot of history, although it's on the hush hush. Because Brady really wants to silence Joaquin. He really doesn't want to give Joaquin shine, right? He sees Joaquin a bit as a threat and he wants to minimize him as much as possible. That's just my opinion. You know, I'm just going off on assumptions. I'm being crazy right now, but I'm also telling you from the heart how I feel, what I've seen from Sean Brady, and why I'm explaining this, the little beef that's gone on, but why it slid under the radar, you know, and that's also made Joaquin feel some type of way. All the call outs he's done towards Sean Brady over the years, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Crickets. Sean Brady to the extent of blocking him. Even after Joaquin, you know, approaches him in person, tries to be respectful, tries to get a fight going, Brady's like, I'm just not that type of guy that likes to talk, ends up blocking
Mm,
Joaquin and all this stuff. So he currently has Joaquin blocked. He's got me blocked because of the interviews I do with Joaquin and the clips. So this shows that really it gets under
childish.
his skin and he doesn't
Yeah,
like Joaquin. Like
that's
genuinely
childish.
doesn't like Joaquin. Right? Now, can you tell me the one offensive thing he ever said about Sean Brady?
I can't know.
No, the only things he's ever said is like these jokes, and this is what pisses off Sean Brady. But this goes to the beginning of their relationship, the beginning of their beef, you could say, the beginning of the ascent of Joaquin New Money, New Man to Buckley. All right. After I think he knocked out Andre Fialho, he was staying ready. You know, he did an interview with me. He's like, I'm going to Michigan right now. There's this card coming up. There's Wonder Boy versus Shavkat on there. There's Sean Brady versus Vicente Luque on there. I want to fill in for anybody if they fall out. Boom. A month down the road, Sean Brady pulls out of the Vicente Luque fight due to staph infection. Joaquin
Mm,
replaces him. UFC Atlantic City, I believe it was. This was the beginning of the ascent of Joaquin, right, and the demise of Sean Brady. This is also the beginning of their beef and everything like that. And so what happened is Joaquin came on the platform and he said, Sean Brady don't wash his ass. That's why he's always getting staph. And that's the worst thing he ever said about Sean Brady. And he's been trolling him ever
funny.
since, right?
Yeah.
But that's what basically led to the blocking and all that stuff. So um, that's basically the story of like the beginning of their beef, and then they saw each other at the Apex and he went up to Brady and talked to him. Brady's coach had to step in and be like, hey, stop bullying my guy, so to speak, right? Like Brady couldn't even speak up for his own self. His coach had to come in the middle of it and separate them. And I mean that's pretty
And it's,
much it, but
and it's the fight game. I mean, what does Sean Brady expect? You know what I mean? Like, you can't be so sheltered. That's like a gang member being like, "Hey, I don't want to represent."
right. And that's what I
I don't
don't
know.
understand about these fighters. Did you know that Jeff Neal? I mean, this is a random ass example, but you know what I heard about Jeff Neal? Shout out to Jew
Hmm.
in the chat because he's the one who informed me of this one. But
Oh,
Jeff
all right.
Neal turned down a fight against Kevin Holland because they have beef,
That don't make sense. Get paid.
and he
That's
just
what you
got
do.
knocked the fuck out by Euros Medic
Yeah.
in a fight no one cared to really watch. No offense.
Yeah.
But no, that's like the beef with Joaquin and Sean. So everyone should
You
understand
know what's
going
you know
into
what's
this
funny
fight
about
that they
that?
got some animosity.
Ian Gary couldn't even do that. Carlos Freitas did it, and Medic did it.
Hmm. But
Ian Gary was very safe that fight.
yeah, but I would say that who knows? I don't know. Jeff Neal, he
He's bro. It goes back to what we've been saying. These guys that were in the top 15 that have been on the way down. Like, you had 5 guys that are just on the mend. And Medic, I really didn't even have in my conversation. And even think about this: Mike Malott and Gilbert Burns is right before the Joaquin Buckley card. You know how I feel about Mike Malott. I think you kind of like him too.
mhm.
Gilbert Burns is a great test, but Mike Malott can get in that top 15 too. And then we got a whole new bunch of that whole new wave now is really there.
Yeah, I think Euros Medic. I'll just tell you, don't get too high on him.
I mean, it's one of the I it's one of those things, right? Like you prove it to me again. Even with the
Mhm.
Jacoby Smith knockout, that didn't excite me.
I think. Oh well, the Jacoby Smith knockout for sure excited me, which is. So I guess we'll differ on that one.
The
But
reason, well,
well,
I'll tell you the reason why.
okay, why?
Because it's who you fought. I want to see you. I mean, let's see who you really. Let's see. Like it's kind of like what you said about Gabriel Bonfim, right? When you start talking with some of these guys, like do that to someone that's like a guy. Go do that to Medic. Go do that to Randy Brown. Go do that to Kevin Holland. Go do that to these Daniel Rodriguez. You know what I mean? So that's I want to see that. Even do it to Jeff Neal,
Okay, so
Neil
um,
Magny.
I got you, and I'll go ahead and also kind of like speak on that one too. But we were speaking about Medic real quick, I think, and we were saying something along the lines of oh, I was saying don't get too high on Medic. And this is what I'll
Mm-hmm.
say. I don't want to down Medic too much, but I'm just gonna keep it just baseline. It's not about respect. It's about telling the truth here. So Medic, I think the best expectation I personally have for him, and we can just see how this goes, and you can keep it in the back of your mind for consideration. But my highest expectation for Medic is he can become a new gatekeeper at welterweight. He's
Sure.
never going to be a contender or probably ascend past the top 10, but he can be somewhat of a gatekeeper for that top 15 and a gauge for people coming in. How long can he be a gatekeeper? Probably not very long. um so that's just to conclude the whole Medic topic. And
Well,
then
even
you mentioned
like
something
even if
else about
well even
Jacoby.
if I like to Daniel Rodriguez, like I don't know if Medic could beat him.
Exactly. Jacoby Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying with that. And I guess here's what where I'll maybe try to meet you in the middle is
Sure.
if people were saying, now it's fun to say this, right? And it's fun to say like he could be, but I would not like it if people were definitively saying Jacoby Smith is the next welterweight champion. Did you see
Oh
what he
well,
did
well
to Josiah Harrell? He's the next
yeah.
welterweight champion. No, you could say he has potential to be a future title contender. I see how I say title contender, like fight for the title. Now, even
Mm-hmm.
saying he'll be the champion is another line you got to jump over.
Oh, he still
I'm
has a lot of time before that.
Now
Yeah.
what I'm saying on the highest upside for Jacoby off of that win is that he could be a future title contender for sure. Here's what I would also say though. Um,
Let me ask you this: do you think he beats Randy Brown?
we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one.
All right.
But off the win over Josiah Harrell, for me it's like this. If he were to take Josiah to a decision, I would have been
Mm-hmm.
more down on him. I would have been like, this is the prospect, right? Jacoby Smith, a guy who's, this massive favorite in every single fight, and this is how you perform. You squeak out a decision win. So, in my opinion, he's doing to the contenders what he should be doing to them, which is just
Sure.
stopping them quick.
Yeah.
Boom, you out
Yeah.
of there at less than 5 minutes
Right.
with me. So I'll
Right.
give him the
I
credit
agree.
there.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'll
Yeah,
meet
and
you there.
and then I'll say, boom, that is a cosign. Let's see you against the names that you mentioned to actually prove yourself. Kevin Holland, Randy
Give him Medic.
Brown.
Get Medic back out then.
Sure,
Give him Medic to get
sure,
in
why
there.
not a Medic, right? But if he beats Medic, I still won't think it's very good. I would rather him beat Kevin Holland than a Medic.
Right. Well,
So
Kevin Holland and Randy Brown are coming up, right?
yeah, so maybe just fight the winner of that one. And
Yeah.
that's where I'd say I'm at with Josiah is I've co-signed him past that like entry level thing. Give him another. No, I don't want to disrespect Josiah, but give him another can. We know what's gonna happen. He's gonna knock him the fuck
Yeah.
out. Keep doing it. So now it's time to
Yeah.
progress him. If he can get past to Kevin Holland, depending on how he secures that victory, if he can get the victory, let's see where he can go from there. But that's finally the real gauge. Now we're
Yeah.
gonna get a
Or
real gauge.
when Daniel Rodriguez gets out of jail and TJ, give him Daniel Rodriguez. I can't believe they still kept him in the top 15. Like
Mhm.
the UFC has to know something.
Actually, I think Jacoby might have called out D-Rod. Somebody called out D-Rod. Somebody's called out D-Rod. You want me to see who?
Sure. I mean, I'm sure he would love to fight right now if he's in jail and TJ. He'd be dying to fight somebody.
I want to say it was Jacoby. Yep, Jacoby called out D-Rod.
That's a good call out, but I don't know
And
if
I
he's gonna
think
be
I'm
able to
gonna
break
have
it.
UFC 327 in Miami. So I'll have Jacoby on actually tomorrow. Speaking
Okay.
of Jacoby. So I'll ask him about the whole D-Rod situation.
Yeah, ask me what's the word on the street.
Yeah, I will. Maybe his manager, if he brought it to his manager's like, nah, D-Rod's locked up right now.
Right.
We'll find out. We'll see. Because the manager's
Yeah.
gotta know, right? Like they're the ones anyway.
I mean, the UFC has to know, right?
Hmm. But no, I wanted to also mention, and you say who would win, Jacoby or Randy Brown? Why you got to do me like that? We got interviews with both guys.
Uh,
Now I got to disrespect one of them. Yeah, I mean it's you know,
all right, all right.
should I leave it alone?
Yeah, leave it alone.
All right,
It's
I'll
fine.
leave it alone.
Randy Brown got some fight coming up.
Yeah, you got a fight coming up.
He has to keep what's in front of him right now because that's a tough one.
Yeah. Now, if you were to
That
ask
ain't
me who wins Jacoby versus Kevin Holland, I'm gonna say Jacoby.
Kevin Holland. That's another
It's a
tough matchup.
super tough matchup. It's a super
Yeah.
tough matchup. I'm just gonna rock with Jacoby on that
Let
one.
me ask you this: Jacoby versus Michael Venom Page.
You know, it sucks because Michael Venom Page, he really isn't going to be a future title contender, but I think it's a
Right.
very tough stylistic matchup.
Right.
You
That's
know,
like a Stephen Boy. That's like a Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson matchup. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
But all he needs is one takedown. All Jacoby needs is one takedown. Because you know how sometimes, like with Kevin Holland, Kevin doesn't have takedowns. So he was forced to strike with Wonder Boy. Guys like Jacoby, he doesn't have to strike with MVP if he can just take him down. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think it would be a tough stylistic matchup initially for him.
all right, all right. So what do we think about the okay, Costa?
I mean, shit.
Boy's dangerous, dog. Boy's dangerous. I'd like to see him fight Kevin Vallejos.
Okay, he got a fight coming up, I think, against somebody, no?
Does he? Oh yeah, that's right. I think he does. But Costa, I'm excited to see him actually. Okay, Dan Ige is kind of on the way down, right? Costa's stock is rising.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see Costa fight someone like a rising stock, someone who's like, all right, here's a dog.
He got a
He's in
7-fight win
prime.
streak. The longest in the division, if I'm not mistaken. I just remember maybe hearing that on the broadcast. But I got a name for you because Malik Wazell Costa got a name for you.
Who?
Diego Lopez.
Yeah, but I think that's too fat, too much too soon. I love the call out. Don't get me wrong; it's a big name, but I don't think that he's going to get it. Like
Kevin Vallejos is
Steve
fighting Josh Emmett
Garcia
in 2 weeks.
Steve Garcia would be a good one because Steve Garcia's been really high right now.
Two guys who are streaking.
Yeah, even anyone, Patricia Pitbull, any one of those guys right there. Youssef, that's another good one.
That would be solid.
Yeah, Youssef got some mouthpiece on him too.
Mm-hmm.
What's Youssef's streak right now? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yusuf
He's on a
Zalal.
5 foot. He's on a 5 foot win streak. 5 5.
I think they're under the impression that Yusuf is fighting up in his next one. We'll see.
Sure.
But a lot of
Okay.
people are very high on Yusuf right now. I'm not sure if they'll allow him to fight back. But the
Yeah.
first one you mentioned, Steve Garcia versus Malik Wazell. I mean, can we just like anyone want to take my money now? You know,
Yeah. He KO'd David Onama.
I can see the face off already.
Yeah.
Like I'm already envisioning the face off now. That's a magnitude fight right there.
That it is a magnitude fight. That's a fight night. That's a headline fight night
Yep.
right there.
And so,
It's a
you
headline.
know, that's just the one thing I wanted to kind of get on UFC Houston about is there's no nice way of saying this, you know, and I think there's not one fight to contextualize it. But if you have a question off of it, maybe that would help me land better. But maybe also people will just understand what I'm saying who tuned into the card last weekend. It's getting to a point, bro. I've been saying this for the last few days, ever since the fight, but it's getting to a point where these UFC cards, it's not a shoe in that I'm just gonna sit there and watch the whole thing anymore.
Ooh.
It's just
No
getting
prelim game.
bro, like I don't like saying that. I hope that I don't have to do this. Yeah, but like, and I'm not saying I always watch it from beginning to end, but
I want to see the chat.
I always watch
it-
from like the third fight, you know, like
I
I
wanna see the
always watch
chat.
from the beginning.
Are they prelim gang or are they main fight game? Main fight card game.
Okay, let's do a poll. But what do you think about that? Like what I'm saying about that? Like,
I unfortunately didn't watch the first 2 or 3 fights.
okay, but like I'm saying, it's not even about the first two or three, but the rest of them after that. Like, were you still cool with it? Like, it's getting to a point for me where, like, bro, the main card is all I'm gonna watch. Like, that's what I'm
Mm,
almost saying. Cause I always, you know me, I don't watch it from the first fight
yeah, and I
legitimately.
usually do. And I usually
Like,
do.
okay, well, to maybe simplify the answer for you, what would you rate last weekend's card?
Out of a 10?
At, do a grading scale, A, B, C, D, F.
Oh, okay. B minus.
Really? Why so
Yeah.
high?
Well, I mean, I like the Zachary Reese Piera fight, the Jacoby fight. I like the Dan Ige Costa fight, the Medic fight. Let me see what else on here. Carlos Neal, that was a good fight versus Chidi. Osborne, Audi Osborne, he lost. Now before that, I didn't get into the fights before that though.
Okay.
Phil Rowe lost. I forgot about that.
So what you saw, based
Oh,
off
that was
what
a
you
tough
saw,
loss for Phil Rowe.
yeah, no, it was. Now I'm gonna go over the card, and since I guess it's fun to contrast it sometimes, give every people two opposite perspectives because that seems to be where we're at with this one. Um, so
But you never really watched the prelims anyway.
no, I don't watch the prelims, but
Yeah, but for me, for the main card, you gotta, in my opinion, you got your money's worth. I mean, it's not a fight, it's not a pay-per-view fight, but you know,
okay, let me go from the Jordan Levitt versus Yadier.
didn't watch that one.
Honestly, not that bad. Phil Rowe versus John Paul. You know, I know Phil Rowe, so I did enjoy watching that one personally. I think a lot of
Yeah,
people tune into that one. Punahele, you know, he is worth watching. Punahele
yeah,
is worth
yeah,
watching.
and he got the job done.
Yeah. Jocelyn Edwards, we all know how I feel. It's not I'm not trying to do a bit right now. So I'm just we all know how I feel about this shit, the women's fights. No need
He
to
got a submission though.
belabor the point.
Hey, she
What
did the job.
whatever
She
she
did the
did it.
job.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, Alden Correa, here's one where I was disappointed because he's supposed to be a prospect and he just squeaked out a unanimous decision win. This is what I was saying. I would have been disappointed in Josiah Jacoby Smith about. If he did this
Yeah.
with Josiah, I would have been like, Jacoby getting overhyped. He getting decision wins and being boring, not showing out. So I
Hmm.
was not impressed with Alden Correa being a prospect. I just was like, wish I didn't even tune in to watch a fight. And I tuned into him because he's a prospect. You know, so I came in there with high hopes and then it just shat the bed. But Ode Osborne, Ali B. Idris, I'm just gonna keep it real. I no recollection at all. Carlos Leal versus Chitty, it was a good fight.
That was a good fight. They banged it out.
Yeah, Michelle Pereira versus Zach Reese.
They banged it out too.
I just hate watching Zach Reese fight a little bit, but that's
Mm.
just me. That's just me. I'm just keeping it a buck
Here,
over here.
you know, here's my thing with Zachary Reese. Like everybody's been really high with him. I've been really high on him, and then you get a quality opponent, and I didn't realize that these two guys used to train together at the same gym, and then you can't get you don't excuse out the win. Like Pierre did more than you, so there's something to be said, bro. Like you don't belong. You definitely don't belong in the top 15 yet.
Yeah, and so I just hope
Still, you
I
still got
also
you still got a lot of work to do.
and I'm glad that you mentioned the hype because I heard a lot of hype for Zach Reese
Yeah.
going into the fight. From the media, it was just kind of crazy. But also Zach Reese just constantly fouling. It's just like it was just annoying to watch. And I was just Zach Reese, he'll never be anything in the UFC. I don't mean to be rude,
I
but
wouldn't go that far.
he won't though. He won't. We'll see. But Michelle Pereira, he'll also never be anything in the UFC. So what I'm getting to with this is that what I know.
A dream crusher over here,
I
bro.
know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I support people chasing their dreams, but I'm just saying
Chat,
Michelle
chat,
Pereira
get your boy,
Michelle
chat.
Pereira's UFC career is played out. You know, it's he's 10-5. We've seen 15 fights from him.
He peaked.
If he could have, he's peaked. If he could have, he would have. And then Zach Reese, I mean, he's 4-3-1. I mean, is this the signs of a world beater?
Yeah.
4-3-1.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting to is this is a perfect example of, and even Alden Correa, the prospect. This is what I'm saying when I'm like, I really am just gonna stop tuning into these cards if like we're getting this low of historical value. Like we're putting two guys in here who will never be anything in the UFC. What am I watching it for?
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's no offense, but maybe people will see what I'm saying when I say, what am I watching it for? I don't know. I mean, I know that there are UFC fans who just want to see people
here,
throw down, but that's not
yeah.
me.
Here's my thing is honestly, they don't need that many fights. They could trim that down. They could go from like what is it usually 9 or 10? They could go to like 6, 7.
I think that's meeting me in the middle, so I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes I even feel like it's a little bit too much.
And it's like
You
6
know,
hours.
right, right. So, and even this weekend's card, I'm not hyped up at all.
Okay, so before we just even go into this weekend, let me
Yeah,
just round this one out too. And because this weekend's not that hype, like we don't even gotta touch on it that much. But you know, Jacoby versus Josiah, I was excited about. Spivak versus Ante, not excited about
they
it.
actually banged it out though.
They did bang it out. It was a good fight.
Yeah, yeah.
It actually did turn out to be a good fight. You're right about that. Malik Wazell versus Dan Ige. This is how I liked them to at least match it up. Like put a prospect against one of these old heads. Zach
Hmm.
Reese is not a prospect you put up against Michelle Pereira. Michelle and Zach Reese are two fucking, no offense, but like has-beens who you put prospects up against to get wins.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And so that's why I like the Malik Wazell versus Danny Ige matchup, because it's exactly what I'm saying. Euros Medic versus Jeff Neal, to be honest with you, right? Didn't really care about this fight that much because, again, same thing as Michelle Pereira versus Zach Reese. Euros Medic, homie's been here for a while, okay? No offense to him, but he's 7-3 in the UFC, so that's actually better than Zach Reese. Jeff Neal, though, he's also been here for a while. I guess I'll just say I'm not that high on Euros' Medic's ceiling. And Jeff Neal, you know, he's a has-been. So again, one of these fights where it wasn't worth seeing. It would have been worth seeing if Jeff Neal didn't shoot himself in the foot and duck the Kevin Holland fade because they got beef.
Mm.
Craziest excuse I ever heard to duck a fight in my life. We got beef. I don't want to fight him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like the Jeff Neal Euros Medic fight that much. For a co-main too is crazy, but then Sean Strickland versus Fluffy, it's got all the
Yeah,
historical value I could ever
it
ask
shouldn't have
for.
been a co-main, that's for sure.
It shouldn't have been a co-main. Malik Wazell versus Dan Ige was more deserving of being a co-main, to be honest.
Yeah.
Prop up Malik Wazell in that co-main spot and let
Even
him
the
shine.
the Spivak fight, I would have watched as a co.
Yeah. So okay, there we go. There. Strickland versus Fluffy. I know that you got a hard out at 5, right? So we got it.
Yeah.
So 4 minutes. So I'm just trying to wrap it up. Fuck UFC Mexico. Doesn't matter. Okay.
And those are my people, my gente.
I know, and I guess we talked about the most important thing, which is the
We did.
cartel situation going on.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you real quick though about that, and then I just want to get the thoughts on Strickland. What's like the proximity of like, I guess Mexico, where the event's taking place and where this cartel wars are going on? Like, is this like LAOC type proximity, or like in California? Like, what would you say the proximities are of like how far apart this madness is to where the UFC fight's taking place?
Honestly, the madness can happen anywhere, right? In Mexico City.
I always was under the impression that Mexico's kind of small, but it's kind of big, or what?
I mean, it's big enough for sure. I mean, if you were to take Mexico City to Tijuana, I mean, that's like a day's drive.
Okay, so is a lot of the attacks going on in Tijuana type shit?
They're all over Mexico.
They're just sporadic attacks all around Mexico.
Right.
Like if you look at a map, there's like a pinpoint here and here and here.
Right.
Oh,
Every
shit.
like major city. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought there was just one little concentrated spot, like the LA riots or something. So it could potentially come to Mexico City, as a matter of fact.
Well, I think they already did. They already were. Yeah, they are in Mexico City for sure. But Jalisco is in. I want to say it's in Mexico City. State is Jalisco. And Jalisco was the guy that was the leader that was murdered. But anyway, yeah, Jalisco. Jalisco is its own state too. So like the cartel, every state has its own. Sinaloa, that was El Chapo. You know what I mean? The Tijuana, they have their own cartel. You said you see Narcos.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. But just on Sean Strickland, real quick. You called Sean Strickland to win the fight, and it just goes to show you he is at another level. And DDP is at another level because DDP was able to crack that code.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and DDP like used every part of his arsenal. He had 5 or 6 different things in his bag. Fluffy only had 2, and
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't do anything at all. Like it must have been frustrating for him, bro. Like I can't do anything right. It's
Right.
like playing a game of Madden and the guy just keeps stuffing you, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna like throw a bomb," and then you get intercepted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your run game's getting stuffed. Like your passes are getting defective. Like he couldn't do anything.
No, it was a really tough fight for Fluffy, and it's crazy because Fluffy's so skilled, and then for Sean to do that to him like that, it's like, damn, there's a crazy level jump there, and Fluffy's skilled as fuck.
And it's crazy too because like he was trying, but like Sean Strickland's his defensive style is really good.
Mm-hmm.
To like he was throwing him, but he was like blocking him. But like he does have a really good style, I have to admit. And then you know what? For he went in for the kill and he got it. Like sometimes he doesn't always get it,
Mm-hmm.
and he got it.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing that kind of hurt Fluffy in that fight was that he appeared to not be on Strickland's striking level, and
Yeah,
so it
that
made
jab just killed him.
yeah, and so it made the wrestling very difficult. I think that DDP, as you said, DDP is another level above Strickland, but I think DDP was able to land takedowns because he's on a closer striking level with
Bro,
Strickland on the feet.
takedowns, spinning back, you know what I mean? Like spinning back fists,
Right. So
the
some of
leg
those
the
exactly.
leg kicks, boxing, like he had so much cardio, like always he's like a
And so that
mirage.
opened up the takedowns for DDP. Fluffy, he couldn't get any of those takedown opportunities
Right.
opened up because he was having no success on the feet. His most success was the fact that he could walk through anything. So shout out to Fluffy because he is a tough motherfucker. He went through 3
Yeah.
rounds of just walking through shit
Yeah.
before he finally crumbled.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is the one thing about Fluffy is like he could walk through anything, and a lot of guys would break off of that pace, bro. Even if he was getting his ass beat, a lot of guys would break and then it would turn over in Fluffy's favor. I guess like I'm almost saying like he don't got much he needs to work on. He pretty much got it. It's just like you ran up against a tough dude in Strickland. I guess if there's one improvement I think Fluffy could make, it's just, you know, make it more be able to mix it up more on the feet
I
with
want
leg
more leg
kicks.
kicks. Yeah.
Yeah, leg kicks. You got to
Yeah.
open it up a bit more than just the boxing.
Right. Let's get a jab going too.
Yeah. And then maybe you could
Oh,
get some more success, open up
right.
takedowns. But he's got it, bro. Like Fluffy's a beast. He got it. It's just like Strickland's tough as fuck. Also, styles make fights. Like
And you know what?
Fluffy's
And there's
gonna beat
something
the
to
shit out of Izzy probably.
there's something to be said. There's something to be said. Those top 3 in any division, they're the top 3 for a reason.
And that goes back to what we said about Joaquin.
Yeah.
You want to be a champion in the future. This fight with Sean Brady coming up March 25th is a must win.
Yeah.
He's a
Oh yeah,
grappler.
that's a
You're coming off a
hundo.
loss to a grappler in Usman. You got out
Yeah.
grappled in that fight. You showed you have what it takes to hang in the 5th round because you stopped all the takedowns in the 5th round. Now you got to come out. You got to get the win against Sean Brady and show that you
Well,
have what it takes to be a UFC champion.
like we talked about the light last week, we were just talking about Anthony Hernandez might go and fight for the belt.
Fluffy,
Right.
yeah, yeah, puts it in perspective.
Bro, that conversation, that light is so dim now.
Yeah,
The Nezardine, that's number one. We're just saying, who's the number one title? And we were both kind of leaning Nezardine. That Henderson, Fluffy can't even like have that conversation.
so here's where I'm at with everything. Just trying to finish it off. So I know it's 5:02.
Yeah.
I'm finishing it off for us right now, and then I guess just tell me your thoughts. What's next? I already gave out my thoughts to the chat, so they know this one, but sharing it with you. UFC White House, Sean Strickland versus Hamzat Chimaev, Cyril Gahn versus Alex Pereira. Run it. And if
Yeah,
if not
those are really
Hamzat
good matchups.
and if not
Those are
Hamzat
really good
versus
matchups.
Strickland, then let's run the interim Strickland versus Imavov.
Yeah. 100%. You can't go wrong either one of those.
And we got Justin versus Ilya on there already too.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with none of those.
Yeah.
All of those, all of the above. All of the above.
Yeah. We got to get heavyweight moving again.
Yeah.
We got to get it moving again. I'm not for Cyril Gahn, getting another opportunity off of this, but shit, if the rules aren't in place to prevent him, then he's going to get another opportunity. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with that too.
Okay, perfect. We locked in. Shout out to all the boys. Actually, you know what? I'll hang out on stream for a little bit longer.
All right.
Just a little bit
Hey,
longer. I'll read the
hey.
chats and
All
stuff.
right.
I'll chop it
All
up with the
right.
chat.
All right, chat. Appreciate it. I gotta get out of here. Today's my last day of Ramadan, so like I'm gonna go meet with some homies at 5:30 because that's when you could eat fast.
Oh,
That's when
so
you
you
can
were
eat.
doing like the first week of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
I have a headache right now that's slamming because I water deprivation.
I was just gonna say you should drink some water.
Bro, I've been dude like I'm like I'm that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Like that humbles you right there, but my like, just killing me.
All right, brother. Well, enjoy your dinner. Enjoy
Thank you,
breaking the
man. Shout
fast.
out to the homies.
Oh, you'll be back. Just so everyone knows, MTK will not be here next week, but he'll be here for the middle 2 weeks of
Yeah,
March.
exactly.
Okay. And then he'll
Yep.
be gone the last week of March. So
Yeah,
expect
my
MTK in two
mom,
weeks.
just so all the homies know, my mom passed away March 25th last year. So this year I'll be with my dad, my brother. So that's gonna go celebrate,
Shout out. Rest in peace to moms.
yeah.
1 year
Appreciate
anniversary.
that.
All right, brother. Peace out, doggy. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
All right, see you later. All right. Let's end this Zoom. I can read out some of the chats for you boys. Yeah, MTK's mom was sick last year. That's all right though. That's life. Well, I guess this is fine. Is this not fine? This is probably fine. Let me turn off the AC. No, I honestly don't got much to say, boys. I was just gonna read a few chats, give you guys a little update. Um, Juice says, "Wild, they can't all be champs, homie." I know. I know they can't all be champs. It's almost like I don't know. Something happened to me. Something happened to me, bro. If you don't got a trajectory, if you don't have an ascent in the sport, I'm just not for it anymore. I just don't want to. I'll let somebody else get behind it. You know, I'll let someone else hype somebody up because they're from a certain region. That's fine. But yeah, I'm really not for guys who don't have a future in the sport. And, you know, to be honest, the fans aren't really for it either. Because if they were, you know, they would get a lot more engagement. So promoting all those people who don't have an ascent in the sport, you guys don't care about it either because you don't engage in the content that we post about them. Not to gaslight you. I mean, I understand it. I get the game. Um but yeah, shout out to Jew, member Tony Sal, member Andrew Nance in the building, all the membies, Tyler Betts in the building. Viva La Raza. Great guest. Yeah, that's my co-host MTK. He always on here. Damn, everybody voting whole card gang. Are you guys seeing the clips drop in with me and Giorgio right now or what? I'm going to pull it up. All right, so a couple viral clips with me and Giorgio. Giorgio previewing his match with Armon this weekend. I mean, if you guys haven't peeped this interview, it's a must watch. This one's a must watch. We did it again. We did it again. This one got 223K. Him saying he's going to slap Arman in the face if he gets chippy with him. If he gets chippy with me, I'm going to hand it right back to him. I don't play that shit. If he wants to slap me, I'm going to punch him in the face. I don't take shit from nobody. If he wants to start playing dirty, I'll play dirty right back. Everyone getting on Giorgio's ass for saying this, but I love it.
Chippy at times. Like in his last grappling match with ACD, he like ended up slapping his opponent or something, or like kneeing him. Obviously, he like headbutted Dan Hooker and like punched a fan and stuff. So, you expecting any chippiness in this match, or like, is this news to you?
No, actually, I got a lot of comments, people saying stuff like that. This is what I'll say: if he gets chippy with me, I'm gonna hand it right back to him. I don't play that shit. If he wants to slap me, I'm gonna punch him in the face. That's that. Listen, I don't take shit from nobody. You know, if he wants to start playing dirty, man, I'll play dirty right back. You know, I don't take shit from nobody.
Arman seems to get a
So go tap into this interview. It's live right now on YouTube if you haven't seen it already. But here's another clip. You know, Giorgio telling the gamblers put the house on him to beat Arman.
I'm very confident in the match. I like me versus Arman for sure. I think that the match is definitely going to be one of my tougher opponents. I won't underestimate him. I feel like he's underestimating me. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think I'm going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know how many people think I'm going to win or lose, but I can tell you that I believe in myself 100%. And if I thought I was going to lose, I probably wouldn't have taken this matchup. I'm very confident in myself and my skills, and I'm ready to shock the non-believers, and I'm ready to make all the believers happy. I'll tell you this: if you're going to bet on the match, I would bet on me. I'm very confident.
You heard it first. You heard it here first. If you're gonna bet on the match, bet on good old Georgie. This one did 55K views.
Arman seems to get a
So yeah, that's pretty much all. We got the first clip of the Adrian Lee interview that just dropped, so check that out as well. And then we got an interview with Phil Rowe tomorrow. Or not Phil Rowe, my bad. Jacoby Smith. So I'll be getting that interview out as soon as possible as well, but just an update for you guys. Jacoby Smith interview locked in for tomorrow. Giorgio Polis interview up and running on YouTube. Adrian Lee interview part 1 just dropped today. Full interview available, members only. And that's all from me, boys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or if anything crazy happens today, maybe I'll see you guys later tonight. But tomorrow might be better. That way I can prepare for the Jacoby Smith interview this evening, get a good night rest, and then lock in for that tomorrow, then hop on stream tomorrow. Sounds like the plan. All right, but yeah, peace out to everybody watching. Buyer seller saying they're meal prepping 80-20 ground beef, need that extra fat. Good shit, buyer seller. Good shit, homie. I'm gonna go eat some chicken right now. All right, peace out, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Jew, buyer seller, Tony Sal, Tyler Betts, True Silence, Andrew Nance, Meat Rocket, Perfecto, and that should be all. Shout